And if you notice, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or the Prophet ﷺ said, قُلْ آمَنْتُ بِاللَّهِ. So he's trying to get us to build from within, to have that strength in our heart. Then, ثُمَّ اسْتَقَمْ. And the scholars say that al-istiqam, following that straight path, is following the straight path in Islam. Following the straight path in what we do, in what we speak, in our behavior. All of these things will lead to the straight path. Now, the straight path is not an easy thing to do. Even if we were on the straight path, sometimes we might veer to the right or veer to the left. So having the straight path or walking the straight path has two dimensions to it. The first one is making sure that we're doing the straight path and all of the different sub-actions that we do. Are we praying right? Okay, so we figured out the praying part. So now we got the praying on the straight path. Let's do fasting. Are we doing fasting on the straight path? You know, because following the straight path is not a single action, or is not a single belief, but rather it's things that we have to follow. Now let's say we got everything that we're supposed to do in a straight line. Are we continuing with that straight line? You know, mankind have issues multitasking. If you're good in one thing, then you lack it in the other. And there are so many things in Islam that we need to perfect. But can we perfect it? No. Because mankind was not created perfect. So what we need to do is we need to keep revisiting everything that we do. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم, ask God for forgiveness. Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala ashraf khalqillah. Dear brothers and sisters, having the belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for somebody to say amantu billah and then follow the straight path is nothing easy. So what do we do, or what can we do if we want to get that? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Baqarah verses 45 says, وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ. Seek guidance by being patient and by praying. And look at the two things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us. As-sabr, being patient, to kind of have that inner support, to really truly trying to be patient when it comes to these other things. And then as-salat, so we can keep our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala we can't do it. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Hud verses 115 says, أَمْ حَسِبْتُمْ أَن تَدْخُلُوا الْجَنَّةَ وَلَمَّا يَعْلَمِ اللَّهَ الَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا مِنْكُمْ وَيَعْلَمَ الصَّابِرِينَ. I'm sorry, that was Al Imran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do you think you're going to enter Jannah without striving for it? Do you think you're going to enter Jannah without really being patient? And at the end Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows who are those who are patient. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in another verse says, وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. Give glad tidings to those who are patient. Because those are the people who will follow through. Those are the people who, when they fall, they will stand up and do it again. When they fall, they'll stand up and do it again. And then in Surah Hud verses 115, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَاصْبِرْ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُضَيِّعُ أَجْرَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. And be patient. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not waste the good deeds of those who did them. So when we look at the hadith, the very simple hadith, قُلْ آمَنْتُ بِاللَّهِ ثُمَّ اسْتَقِمْ. Believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is something that's going to take striving. Something that's going to take all aspects of life, not when it's good, and not believing in the hadith, but actually practicing them. And being patient when things don't go our way. And then following the straight path takes work. takes hard work. And if we think that we reached that straight path, then we'll make sure that we revisit every single step of the way. Make sure that we did it right. Make sure that we're still doing it right. Because at the end of the day, we are the only one responsible for our actions. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep us on the straight path and to lead us to what is He asking us to do.